All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm here with car expert Dane Sharp, and we're going to take a look at some of the new 2020 cars. Dane, tell us what we're looking at here.
All right, so really excited about doing this podcast. We're just going to take a look at the top 10 performance cars of 2020. Lots of good stuff to get excited about. We've got a top 10 list in front of us here, and we're just going to kind of go through them. Pat's going to do his best to chime in anywhere he can. And yeah, we'll just give you some opinions on what we're thinking, and you know, some cars that I'm kind of looking forward to going forward with my channel per se. Definitely looking to bring something new to the channel in the coming days.
So I'm looking at $99,200. Is that where we're starting? Are we going declining from there? Or are we going to go up from $99,000?
To be honest, I think the prices here for the top 10, I don't think it's a top 10. I think they're kind of staggered. They're all over the place. First one is a Porsche 718 Cayman GT4. So, you know, this is going off of a long sort of lineage of Porsche models.
Wow.
The car just constantly gets better and better and better. The GT4 model is obviously the more track-focused engine. Definitely don't know the specs that Porsche is planning to release, but definitely will be a beautiful sounding and elegant sort of looking car.
So if we just play the audio of engines, you can tell me the price based on the sound from the engine?
Definitely not. I wish I could. I could probably tell you like the $1 million ones.
It's
but
kind of like wine tasting, right?
That actually might not be true. I don't know if I could distinguish price. That's maybe another video.
Based on the sound
Price
of the
based
engine.
on sound. Because you always get those freaking Rice Rocket Civics that come and you're like, whoa, and then you see it and you're like, what? Nope. So just kind of going through the list here. I don't want to really cover all the cars because some of them I don't really know a whole lot about.
The
some of them
Stingray, you're not familiar?
Stingray is probably the most excited generally for the car industry, most excitable car for 2020. They've just released the car in the last couple months, and they've gone from a front engine car, V8,
Right.
to now mid-engine.
And what's your personal opinion on that front trunk space? Is that
Not a whole lot. But when you're buying a supercar sort of like this, you don't really expect. It's called a frunk. You don't really expect to get a whole lot of trunk space.
Yeah.
The performance, the specs of the Corvette versus price point, $60,000, comes with a V8 supercharged engine pushing 500 plus horsepower, starting at $60,000. The car it's a amazing buy, and this year it's, if you can see it, it's completely been revamped. The look of it is truly amazing. So a lot of people getting really excited about it.
I like that you still use horsepower because I use goat power on most of my vehicles that I purchase.
Goat
so,
power. Goat power. Are we talking like little
6,000
Ford
go for it,
Fusions and with EcoBoost?
Oh yeah, you can't go home without it.
The next company, the next car is a Mercedes CLA 45S. And actually, I don't even want to talk about this car because it's not really something I get excited about. But it actually reminds me of my favorite car, which is a Mercedes C63 S Coupe. And in the last sort of couple of weeks, I've been looking at the 2020 specs, and the car looks absolutely amazing. It should be said that going forward in 2021, they're going to take the car, and this is something that the car automotive industry is really upset about. They're taking the twin turbo V8 engine and they're downsizing it to a 4-cylinder hybrid engine.
What's
so
the
we're going to
idea
go from
behind
all this grunt and this orchestra of beautiful sound and torque to a little sort of, you know, faster, inevitably faster engine, faster car.
Yeah.
But definitely not with the same emotion. So if you guys are looking to pick up a Mercedes C63 in the next little while, 2020 and back will be probably, you know, a really good buy in terms of picking one up at a discounted rate before the car completely changes. Looking at my top sort of 3 cars for the near future, I would say C63, M4, and Audi RS5 are probably in my top 3 as to.
And this Shelby GT500, where's that land?
Another really exciting car. This is the GT500 is more of a track focused car. If you spec it out the way it should be spec'd out, it starts at 70,000, but that's bare bones. You're probably looking at over sort of 90, 100,000 plus when it's fully spec'd out. This car actually comes in a GT 350, smaller engine, 500 horsepower V8, which is actually a really good good car. You can pick those up a couple years old on the market for 50, 60 grand. So really good buy. Beautiful sounding flat plane, Ford engine. Just really beautiful sounding engine. You can see all three of the cars sort of lined up there. Really nice looking car from Ford if you're looking for American muscle. That brings us to the HELLCAT Dodge Charger.
Wow.
These cars, they've always sort of baffled me. I mean, if you're looking for the cheapest possible way to get maximum speed and sound, this is the way you go. You can get a 700 horsepower car, 6.2 liter V8, just absolute beast in a straight line for 60 grand new. That being said, the thing doesn't handle. It's got tons of body roll. The fit and finish of the interior is not up to par. So I guess it goes back to what you're looking for. If you're looking for, just straight line performance, American muscle, in
Yeah.
Dodge Charger, Dodge Challenger, HELLCAT SRTs, that's where you're really going to get your performance. If you're looking for all around elegance, you want to be more sort of, Porsche 911, Mercedes, C class, E class, S class, for style and for comfort. The RS5, RS lineup of Audi. I don't know if I mentioned BMW M cars. That's where you're really looking for something, for cars that sort of encompass performance, style, and comfort. You kind of get the whole shebang.
And this Kia Stinger GTS, where do you land with this?
In my opinion, I have never liked Kia. I think it's cool that they finally have come to market with a performance model. You can pick up one of these for, it's 400 horsepower. You can pick up one it's a twin turbo for probably under 50 grand, 50, 60 grand, brand new.
Wow.
So, going back to, economy and trying to get into the performance sort of industry on a budget, I think it's a good option, but I don't believe in Kia and the sort of the build quality of the brand. The next car, Porsche 911 RSR, looks definitely not like a car to buy for your everyday sort of daily driver.
Picking up some groceries with this thing, right?
Yeah, I think if you got $1 million budget for a car, this thing's an absolute beast. It's got a 9-speed sequential gearbox. It's pushing out 500 plus horsepower, 4 liter. It's got paddle shifters. I mean, in my opinion, anything Porsche is going to be a good buy. Porsche's been in the industry for a long time. They've really produced sort of high-end performance vehicles, so definitely worth taking a look at that.
And now, is it worth it to get a Lexus these days?
Lexus is kind of like, I put it sort of entry level sort of exotic. I shouldn't say exotic, entry-level sort of luxury car.
Right.
I put it in sort of on par with Infiniti and stuff like that, maybe a little bit above Infiniti, but below sort of the German
I'm not feeling
brands,
that paint job at all. That's pretty bizarre looking.
Put it below the Mercedes-Benz, the Audis, the BMWs of the world. But, they definitely make some nice cars, for sure. They've got a nice sort of range of vehicles. Don't have a whole lot of insight into Lexus. Never really been excited about it. I don't think they've ever really come out with a car that really excites me. They've got an LC500. It's got a mean sort of twin turbo V8 in it, but it's $100,000 plus. It's just never really been a brand that's got me that's tickled my feathers per se, the way Mercedes does.
And this 50th anniversary edition of the Nissan, this looks like we're going back in time. I mean, the shape is reminding me of the 1980s.
Yeah, I think this is Nissan just trying to bring back an
nostalgia.
An old car, yeah, just maybe for one last little push of the model before they refresh and do a whole complete revamping. I mean, I'm a fan of this car. I mean, again, we're talking at a certain price point. It's
right.
It's between 30 and 35 grand brand new. So when you're spending that kind of money, you gotta realize you're only going to get so much performance. I think that being said, this is a cool little sort of maybe first sports car for a young teenager who just wants to rip around. It doesn't have mind-boggling sort of lose your license in a heartbeat sort of speed, but it's also going to give you tons and tons of fun. It would be really interesting to see if it comes with a manual gearbox, just to give you a sort of little more driver sort of emotion, right?
So if we can rewind, what impressed you the most out of these top 10 new sports cars?
I mean, I would say the track cars are always going to be the most impressive
Yeah.
from a spec sort of standpoint, a performance standpoint. But in my opinion, Mercedes is the company that's really sort of standing out with their AMG cars, in particular. They've really gone above and beyond in their interiors, starting in sort of 2018, 2019. Steering wheels, their digital dashboards and stuff like that. They're upping their game to sort of the likes of Audi now, and kind of leaving BMW behind. Almost forces BMW to sort of step their game up in the next little while. So it really seems like all these car companies are sort of battling for that sort of top spot. But I personally have always liked Mercedes, and as of late I've really liked what Mercedes has been doing. And personally, I would love to get myself into a new C63. That's my goal for the next little while. I've got a buddy who I know has got a nice white C63 S Coupe 2020 fully loaded. The thing is an absolute beast. He let me drive it about a month ago, and it's literally from the moment I drove it, it's been on my mind that that's the next car that I want to get on the channel. So I'd probably get it in selenite Magno Gray, with a sort of night package, black rims and black accents. But that's the car that I'm looking at for the next little while. Just have to justify it to my wife.
Well, there you go. There's car expert Dane Sharp. He's landing with Mercedes this time around, and we'll be back soon with some more information on all of these luxury cars.